Welcome back friends to yet another video under Biotech Made Easy classes. Today's video is on antisense RNA technology. Antisense RNA is a tool used for preventing the gene expression by inhibition of protein synthesis. It is very useful technique to fight from diseases and has many applications in designing drugs. In fact, antisense oligonucleotides, or commonly known as ASOs, are new form of future drugs. It also have applications in agriculture, though now we synthesize it, but it is naturally also present in wide range of species in prokaryotes, plants and mammals. Before going into detail, let us see why it is known as antisense RNA. Messenger RNA, is a single-stranded sequence of nucleotides. It carries genetic information and results in the formation of functional protein. That is why it is known as sense strand. It has right kind of codons, so it forms the functional protein, so it makes sense, and that is why known as sense strand. Now remember that out of the two strands of DNA, only one strand normally is transcribed into messenger RNA, and it is always the same strand for the given gene. Here you see the lower strand is participating in formation of messenger RNA. I have shown it bold to point out the strand. It's a normal situation, but what happens if the opposite strand of DNA is transcribed? In second part of figure, the upper one shown in bold is the one which is forming RNA, not the same as the normal case. So the result is this RNA will be complementary to messenger RNA, thus cannot make functional protein. Therefore, it is called an antisense RNA, and this topic involves this antisense RNA. Look at the sequence carefully. These are RNA sequences where thymine is replaced by uracil, and both are complementary to each other. Antisense RNA and RNAi, or which are known as RNA interference, are two major RNA based techniques to regulate the gene expression, but these are not same. Sometimes students get confused between the two, so let us see how they are different. AsRNA is basic technique, but RNAi is quite complex with RNA induced silencing complex and enzyme, etc. Antisense RNA is short sequence of 19 to 23 nucleotides as compared to RNAi, which are longer and sometimes around double the length of antisense RNA. Antisense technique is not very specific. On the other hand, RNAi has high specificity. Less degree of silencing is obtained by antisense RNA in comparison to RNAi. In this technique, only one strand, that is the antisense strand, is provided. But in RNAi, both sense and antisense RNAs are provided. So these are the major differences. Now, how does it work? You can see messenger RNA and antisense RNA both are single-stranded RNAs. If messenger RNA and AsRNA both are in the same cell, whether antisense RNA is formed inside the cell or it has been provided from the outside, whatever is the case, but if they are in the same cell, what they will do? They will form the duplex because they are complementary to each other. So you already know that messenger RNA is single-stranded and normally it doesn't form duplex. But here it has happened. So the translation is blocked because in double-stranded form, messenger RNA cannot form protein. Now the question is, what actually happens when the duplex is formed? So the answer is protein is not formed. But how? how the protein is not formed, why the protein is not formed. So there may be three ways of blocking the protein formation. The first is ribosomes do not have access to nucleotides in the messenger RNA. Double strand will prevent the ribosomes from binding to messenger RNA. So at this point the process will stop. Now see the second one. Here messenger RNA is in nucleus. So the double stranded RNA is also formed in the nucleus of the cell, but it is not transported to the cytoplasm where generally coded information of messenger RNA is translated to a specific protein. So as it is not reaching to the cytoplasm, so no protein formation will take place. Third case is the most common one. It's the major mode of action. Here RNase H enzyme degrades the messenger RNA, thus silences the gene. So out of these three, whatever is the case, whichever approach is used, but ultimately the translation is blocked and no protein is formed. Now the next question is, how can you form antisense RNA, or how it can be constructed? The first approach is to synthesize the antisense oligonucleotides, which are commonly known as ASOs, which is very commonly used technique. It's easy to synthesize small oligonucleotides. These ASOs are designed to hybridize a defined target messenger RNA. So this synthetic antisense oligonucleotides are generally used these days. But there is a second approach also. In second approach, antisense RNA gene is used to make antisense RNA, and for that we need to construct a vector with antisense gene. So we have to construct a antigene vector here. Now first look at the normal gene in the figure, which has a promoter. So here you can see there is a promoter, and this is the normal gene, and the sequence, a particular random sequence I have taken, so that random sequence is shown here. Now let us see the antisense gene which we have constructed. So this is important one, because here you have to see how the antisense gene is constructed. The promoter is here also, and at this point, at the point of promoter, we cut the DNA, and then what we do, we just flip it or turn upside down. That means this strand, the normal strand, if it is flipped, this yellow strand will go upward and this red strand will come downward, or the lower strand will go towards the upper side, or the upper strand will come towards the lower side. So that is how it happens here. And because this strand has come towards the lower side, so that's why you see the sequence has also changed. This sequence is the one which should be present here. Now this is not the only thing. Before we attach this gene to the promoter again, what we do, we reverse the orientation. So two things are done. One is that we have flipped it, the strands will go upside down, and the second is that we have reversed the orientation. So this sequence of this strand, this red strand, is in the reverse orientation. Now let us see what happens next. These two are templates. These two strands will now work as template. Now both these strands, both these genes will make the messenger RNA. This is also making the messenger RNA, normal one. This is the lower one, which generally participates in the formation of messenger RNA. So here you can see the messenger RNA is formed, only instead of T there is U. 5' to 3' end. Now see here. Here the RNA which is formed from this one, it's not the normal messenger RNA. and that is why it is known as antisense RNA, because here instead of making the normal messenger RNA, this strand has participated. So that's why it is known as antisense RNA. Now in the next step, you see, if these two, messenger RNA and antisense RNA, both are present in the same cell, because this gene is also in the same cell. So if both are present, messenger RNA and antisense RNA, in the same cell, naturally they will form the duplex. And whenever the duplex is formed, there is one strand here, you see, of messenger RNA from 5' to 3' end. The same sequence you will see here. And at the time of duplex formation, this strand when it will form the duplex, it will be from 3' to 5' end. So here the sequence I have shown you is from this side, UACG. So you see UACG and so on. So that's how the duplex is formed, and you see these two are exact complementary to each other. So in this case, what you do, you construct the antisense gene and you put it into the vector is put into the cell, and it forms the antisense RNA itself. You don't need to provide it from outside for the therapeutics. So that is, how the antisense RNA can be formed. This is one of the ways. Now here we are talking about the delivery methods. The major issue for the oligonucleotide based therapy involves the effective intracellular delivery of the active molecules. Therefore, a great deal of efforts are focused on delivery of ASOs these days. Lots of work is going on, researches are going on. There may be many approaches to deliver the ASOs to the cells, in vivo or in vitro, such as microinjection, endocytosis, liposomes, antisense gene, which we just talked about, then nanocarriers, molecular conjugates, and these two, nanocarriers and molecular conjugates, are the you can say preferred techniques these days, and lots of work is going on in these two techniques. Now let's talk about the applications. The most important uses are the therapeutic uses. Many diseases may be connected to the excess production of certain proteins, and antisense oligonucleotide based therapeutics involve the regulation of a particular gene expression, and it has great potential as RNA based drugs to treat various diseases. First, we'll talk about the antiviral treatment. There are many deadly viral diseases which have posed serious health issues to mankind. Effective drugs are not available for many of these viral diseases. But recently, antisense RNA therapy has emerged as a promising tool to treat these diseases. And many antisense drugs have been approved by FDA also. So that is something which is very important. Millions of people suffer from AIDS throughout the world. Among new drugs for fighting against AIDS are ASOs. Then another one is hepatitis C, for which the antisense RNA can be efficiently employed. Antisense RNAs with conserved regions of hepatitis C virus have been used to inhibit the translation. Influenza virus is another application of therapeutics. Antisense RNAs are also widely used in influenza virus treatment by inhibiting its replication. Cancer has been a major area of therapeutic investigations. Antisense RNA can recognize the mutated oncogenes in cancer cells. Several studies have shown that it can be used as inhibitor of gene expression in tumor cells. However, researches are required for suitable delivery methods into target tumor cells. It could be a potent therapy in future for cancer treatment and diagnosis. Several antisense drugs are under trial and the results are quite encouraging. Lots of work is going on in the direction for the treating cardiovascular diseases. A drug has been approved by FDA as a therapy for hypercholesterolemia, and many other are under trial to control vein thrombosis and many other diseases. Antisense drugs have been evaluated for multiple neurological diseases and are administered in cerebrospinal fluid in brain. Spinal muscular atrophy is a motor neuron disease, generally occurs in infants, and oligonucleotide has been designed and it may come in market soon. Duchenne's muscular dystrophy is a lethal neuromuscular disease caused by alteration in dystrophin gene. AS drugs are underway or in advanced clinical trials. Huntington's disease is an autosomal neurodegenerative disorder. In this case also the drug is under the clinical trial. Patent disease and myotonic dystrophy are other diseases for which the studies are going on to develop antisense drugs. The researches are also going on for inflammation, autoimmune diseases and renal diseases. The pharmaceutical companies which are involved in making all these drugs and in lots of studies and researches are ISIS Pharmaceutical, Biogen, Teva, Oncogenex, Icaogen, Sarepta, etc. Now another application of antisense RNA is in agriculture. In agriculture, mostly we make the transgenic plants. The very good example is Flavor Saver tomatoes. These were first genetically modified food which was approved by FDA and developed by Celgene in 1994. You know what happens? Tomatoes generally have tendency to become soft. So they are picked when they are green, and then they are artificially ripened by the plant hormone ethylene. To solve this problem, Flavor Saver tomatoes were developed with increased flavor and shelf life. Now let us see the method. There is an enzyme polygalacturonase, which is commonly known as PG enzyme. This is a pectin degrading enzyme and is responsible for fruit softening, because when it is formed then the fruit is softened. The PG enzyme was suppressed by the use of antisense RNA, so the result was that the expression of PG gene was decreased. And what you can do, we can allow the tomatoes to fully ripen while they are on the plants, and they still remained without going soft. They were not soft, so at the end they had better shelf life. So this product was never profitable, and later Celgene was taken over by Monsanto. Another example is improvement of starch. In the starch industry, amylose polymer is undesirable. That is not needed in the starch industry. Let's talk about the method. Antisense RNA for starch synthase is formed. What this will do? This will inhibit the production of amylose component, and the result is that amylose free potatoes are formed. Another example is plants with male sterility. Male sterility is one of the most critical traits in plants, and it can be used to ensure purity during constructing the hybrid plants. Transgenic plants with male sterility and restoring the reproductive capacity of male plants have been made using antisense RNA technology. Another one is changing flower color. In 1988, Kroll and his team successfully changed the color of petunia flower first time. The studies related to decrease the anthocyanin and increase or decrease the other pigments are going on, and with this technology we can change the color of the flower. In microorganisms also this technology can be of use. Antisense RNA plays crucial role in regulation of gene expression in microorganisms. One example is of flavor modifier thaumatin, which was increased in Aspergillus avamori by inserting antisense RNA against PEP-B that degrades the thaumatin. It is also being used in investigating the regulation mechanisms of genes in microbes. Antisense RNA has also been used to identify and evaluate novel antibacterial target for multi-drug resistant, and this is one of the most important uses of this technology. The last application which we can talk about here is the research tool for gene knockdown. Antisense RNA can also be helpful in knockdown of the gene. The use of ASOs that rely on RNase H dependent cleavage of messenger RNA is a popular method of knockdown in the cell culture. So that is all about the antisense RNA technology. I hope you enjoyed the lecture and you could understand it. So thank you so much, friends, and please watch my other videos also if you liked it. Thank you.